Facebook updated its status today. The tech giant is now listed as a public company. But will it live up to all of the hype? Not so far, anyways. After some ups and downs on the stock exchange, Facebook's brand new IPO closed virtually unchanged at $38.23. That's up 23 cents from where the stock started the day. Today's debut was the most talked about on the stock market in years. Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg rang the NASDAQ bell and raised his personal net worth to $20 billion. But some wonder what it'll do for the regular investor. Facebook, called the ticker symbol FB on the NASDAQ, shot up about 13% at the start, then it gave back the gains almost immediately.
You need to remember that this is a long-haul bet. With Facebook valued at 100 times last year's profits, they have to grow a lot.
A long-term investment. You heard it. Facebook now valued at more than $100 billion. That's more than Amazon and Disney. And joining us now to talk about this, should regular investors, right, scoop up shares of Facebook? Rick Bloom from Bloom Asset Management joins us. Okay, you and I were talking before. The word you used to describe Facebook's IPO today, a bust.
It was a bust. I mean, all the excitement that went into it, people thought for sure the stock could be selling almost double today. It didn't.
What happened, Rick? Why?
Well, I think a lot of investors looked at it by saying, you know, this company is very, very expensive. It's selling 100 times earnings when you have companies like Apple that are selling 10 times earnings. So I think, you know, people question whether it can continue to generate the revenues. Plus, you had this week General Motors saying, we're pulling our ads off of Facebook because we're not making money off them. So I think a lot of investors were very concerned about the future of Facebook from a revenue standpoint.
A lot of people wanted it on the IPO and couldn't get in on it. Normal, everyday investors, right? We couldn't get our hands on it. So come Monday, we can.
Right, you can buy it at $38.23 a share.
Should we?
I tell you, I think for someone who is looking long-term, wants to take a small portion of their portfolio and speculate on it, it's not a bad idea. But I think it probably can go a little lower because you had a lot of people buying the stock today that were traders who want to be in and out relatively quickly. They're going to get out because they're going to say, I can't make that much money over the short run. So it may actually fall a little over the next week or two.
So they thought maybe they could, but then when it was peaking at like $45 a share, 43, they all said, forget it, I'm getting out, and they sold, right?
It's not unusual, like when you saw like Google come out, that the stock jumps 100% in value within a couple days. So that's when a lot of traders sell out, they take their profits and move on. That didn't happen today. We didn't get that initial bump when the stock came out.
I think the stock market wanted this to succeed so badly today because it's just between the news about JP Morgan and the trading losses and what's going on in Europe, the market has hit a real rough patch and was hoping today to get a bump, but no.
It has. The market's in weak shape right now. You also have to factor in U.S. job growth. Our job growth has really slowed, and that's hurting. So coupled with what's happening in Europe and our job growth, we're in a weak market right now, and I think it's going to be that way for a while, at least for the next couple months.
You know, I know as a financial advisor, always say you can't time the market. You've told me that over and over again. But when people see I mean, this was trading above, what we're hundreds off the high so far this year.
Almost 1,000.
So you think almost, well, it's now the time to get in because we're down? Or
that's when people should buy. This is a buying opportunity. People should look at this. You can't hope to buy at the ultimate low. The market's on sale right now. It is a good time to start exploring people's goals and objectives and where they should put some money. If you're sitting on cash, this is a good time to start looking at some investments.
Rick Bloom, great advice as always. Thanks so much for taking the time on this Friday to talk to us. Diana.